Let's get ready to roll.
The history of the United States Grand Prix goes back to the Vanderbilt Cup in 1908. Since then, some of the best have won in the United States. Jim Clark, Graham Hill, Jackie Stewart, Jochen Rindt, Sterling Moss, Niki Lauda, James Hunt, Villeneuve, Senna, Schumacher, they have all been victorious at the many different circuits that have made up the United States Grand Prix. But since 2012, this has been the home, the Circuit of the Americas. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods from high atop the tower. We look out over a scorching circuit, and here is the grid. Esteban Ocon starting dead last, pertinent, because that marble is in 4th in the championship standings. Bortoleto 19th, Lawson 18th next to Pierre Gasly, Alexander Albon, and a good qualifying for Franco Colapinto up in 15th. Yuki Tsunoda in the first of the Red Bulls plummeted down the order as qualifying went along, so too did Nico Hülkenberg, who jumped right into elimination. Russell and Adjar come next, breaking into the top 10. It's the championship leader, Oscar Piastri, and 10th, Ollie Behrman, starting in front of the McLaren. Lance Stroll and Lando Norris come next, with the door open for Norris to cut into Piastri's lead. Sainz and Verstappen, same goes for Max, who is 2nd in the standings. Now up toward the front, it is Antonelli and Leclerc on row number 2, and Fernando Alonso starts behind Lewis Hamilton, whose Ferrari is on pole in Austin. And we're rolling. A very good getaway from Hamilton, who leads coming down through the first sector. The winding few turns after that opening hairpin. Now the speed will ratchet up as they head toward the next hairpin, and Stroll drafts by them all. An excellent start by Lance Stroll, and so too by Max Verstappen, who is up into 2nd place as they go through the stadium section under the tower. Through the final 2 turns, Charles Leclerc has come back. A very busy opening lap for these marbles. Leclerc with the getaway. It's slower than Stroll, who is by after the hairpin. Lance Stroll now takes over the lead. It's George Russell who briefly had 3rd and got absolutely swarmed coming out of that tricky turn 9 section. Back they go in the far portions of the track. This is a great battle between Verstappen and Stroll, and it's Max who has the lead. Verstappen won this race 3 years in a row, back in 2021 through 2023, before Leclerc broke the streak. Can Max re-establish one in this 12-lap Grand Prix? Nice over-under move there by Leclerc. That's a very tight turn at a point on the track where you're wanting to ramp up the speed as you dive down toward the far hairpin. Leclerc having to go defensive against Russell, and it didn't work. George is through into P2. Piastri holding in 4th. Stroll, Antonelli back in 6th. Hamilton has fallen from pole down to 7th. In front of Adjar, Ocon, Alonso, who dropped from 2nd down to 10th. Russell gets the lead, and Leclerc briefly had it back and lost a spot. Now gains it over Max. These top 3 are extremely racy. Make that top 4, because here comes Piastri. Slow out of the right-hander. Russell, Leclerc, Antonelli, and Piastri. Verstappen back in 5th, but positions are changing all the time. There goes Max, and a great move over the line. Adjar has come up to 5th. That is an incredible climb for Isaac Adjar, who is now in 4th. Make that 3rd. Adjar goes to the inside. Leclerc takes a neutral line down toward the hairpin. Good job coming out of that tight turn by Piastri. Gained a load of spots. Now up into 3rd, and look at this battle for the lead. 3 marbles separated by 1 length apiece. Russell, Leclerc, Piastri. Off of the conveyor belt. We talked about the dust yesterday. Could that be what is causing several of these marbles to go extremely slowly out of these slow turns? Some are managing to find the grip and accelerate away beautifully. Others look like they've got lead in their shoes. Russell Now sees Verstappen in second place for most of this lap, but Verstappen waiting for the right moment, and that was it. Max goes to the lead. Halfway through the Grand Prix. Piastri beats both of them off the line. Oh, but can't hold it through sector number 1. Over the S's, out of that tight turn. Here they go. Down. Oh, here's the helicopter cam, and we've got a yellow flag in the meantime. Yellow flag, and we are hearing that that is because of Leclerc, who got stuck briefly at turn 7 and was able to get going again. Piastri holds the lead. Verstappen, Russell, Alonso has recovered back up into 4th. Lance Stroll, his teammate, in 7th behind Antonelli, make that 6th. Stroll now up into 5th. This is the lead right now at the front of the race. Piastri, 10 or 12 lengths in front of Max Verstappen. Alonso cannot play defensive for too long here if Alonso wants a chance to win this race. Piastri over the line, Verstappen, Stroll, Alonso, Antonelli, Bortoleto, Russell, Ocon, Hamilton, and Ajar rounding out the top 10. Collisions coming off of the conveyor belt, and you see the dizzying heights at the start of this track, way up in the air. You can also see the dust on the track, and we've got another yellow flag. We're hearing that Russell is now stuck, not sure where. And we've got a safety marble. I was going to say, we saw the blinking lights. That's like a double yellow. The safety marble has been deployed. And the safety marble has successfully dislodged Russell. That is exactly what that marble is designed to do. Well done to the safety marble. Hopefully we get a replay on that later. Oh, that's a great battle coming off the conveyor belt. So many marbles are just heaving it into turn 1 with reckless abandon. There you see the 2 McLarens disappearing off into the distance. How about Esteban Ocon? In the fracas of multiple yellow flags, after starting dead last, that marble is in 3rd. 2 laps to go. Piastri's lead is growing. Verstappen in 2nd. Ocon in 3rd. Our championship leader is leading the way after we said in the beginning the door was open for some of the rivals to gain ground, but it's not happening here. Piastri currently with a 7-point lead on Verstappen. As we look toward the back, now back up at the front. Max can see Ocon as they wind through the S's, diving down toward the far hairpin. Where is Piastri? Can't even see him in the frame. There is Oscar, going through the stadium section for the final time. Oscar Piastri responds and wins the United States Grand Prix. Max Verstappen, 2nd in the championship, is 2nd at Circuit of the Americas. Esteban Ocon with a tremendous climb from 20th to 3rd. Final marbles coming across George Russell, who was stuck somewhere. And interestingly, the safety marble got stuck too, trying to get back into the pit lane. Too much going on, and that marble was lodged. Lucky we did not have the need for another safety marble. Well, great race all around, but Oscar Piastri, after a duel that went back and forth for multiple laps with Verstappen and other marbles, the McLaren stands supreme. McLaren has not won in the United States since they were McLaren Mercedes back in 2012 with Lewis Hamilton, and the year before that, at least the previous year's Grand Prix in the United States, back at IMS in 2007. Hamilton got the win there as well. Well, coming up next, it is Mexico. We head south of the border to another circuit where the passion of the fans is on full display. We hope that you'll be there cheering along for your favorite